Jonathan A. Moneybags was found murdered in his private library. How do you plead?
Innocent?
McGrittle, please. Now, for the record, could you please state your name and relationship to Mr. Moneybags?
Well, my name is Johnny A. Fewbags. I work for his company, Alias Industries, making wax figures for museums. I'm under the controversial Civil War Generals Division.
And how well are you acquainted with your boss?
Not particularly well. We chatted a few times, mainly in performance reviews. You used to say I reminded him of a younger him.
Aha! So you killed him so you could assume his identity! That sounds like a confession to me! McGrittle, please! Now, are you aware, Mr. Fewbags, that Mr. Moneybags said in his will that you would inherit his company in the event of his death?
Wait, seriously?
Yes. So, certainly you must realize your implications in the matter of this murder. Now, where exactly were you between the hours of 9 and 10?
What? Oh, last night I was at my coworker's house, Roger Ackroyd. He'll tell you I never left the place.
Thank you, Mr. Fewbags. No further questions. All right, let's book him. McGrittle, that's enough. What? I was just trying to scare the guy. Isn't that what you're supposed to do to make him confess? Listen, McGrittle, you are going to have to start taking this job a lot more seriously if you want to become a real detective. Well, it'd be a lot easier to take it seriously if you let me be in charge of a case once in a while. Come on, let me solve the Moneybags murder.
Should I be?
Even if I wanted to give our most high-profile case to a rookie like you, I couldn't. It says specifically in Moneybags' will, in the event that I am murdered, which is incredibly likely, I will want the case to be solved by none other than Detective Alfred S. Merdur. Merdur, whoever that is.
You don't know who Alfred S. Merdur is?
No. Do you?
He's a legend! They say he's the greatest detective the world's ever seen since Encyclopedia Brown. A few years back, he solved the murder at the Panda Express. Who would have guessed it was the butler? There wasn't even a butler involved with the case. I heard he once solved the murder on Boulevard Way in 8 minutes flat. Man, what I'd do to meet that guy in real life.
You can leave anytime you want, Mr. Fewbags. Fine. If you really want to, you can tag along with this Merdur guy. Maybe he'll teach you a thing or two about being a real cop. You won't regret it.
A murder here. A most foul murder indeed. Yesterday this man was stabbed like a quinoa.
Now, he's a dead fly.
Who are you and why should I acknowledge it?
Oh, I'm Maralynda McGrittle. It's nice to meet you. I was, asked to help you on the case.
Are you aware of who I am?
I am
Alfred S. Merdur, with the judgment of Perot, the mind of Cheerin, and the wit of Colombo. I built my career with nothing but pure skill and a reputation. I, the greatest detective in the world, have clawed and scratched my way from the bottom of the barrel of poverty, squalor, crippling despair, and loneliness to reach the absolute pinnacle of the human mind.
You okay there, bud?
Yes, I suppose having a partner could be useful. Please, give me the information of the case.
Right. Last night at 9:47, the station got a call from local jobless nobody, Jeffley Cant, saying he was outside the Moneybags mansion.
Officer, I'm hearing the scream sound again. No, it ain't coming from my psyche. It's coming from the Moneybags mansion. You're welcome. Pick, pick, the doodly-doo.
10 minutes later, the chief of police arrived at the mansion. Moneybags' wife, Deborah, had arrived at the house only moments before from shopping at Harry's Herring Super Together, they found the body in a pool of blood in the library, obviously stabbed. The weapon was never found. As more police arrived, Ashley Cheerin, president and sole human member of the Johnny A. Fewbags fan club, was found hiding outside the mansion in a bush. She's being held for questioning.
What are the details of the will?
Moneybags' company, Alias Industries, was left to a man named Johnny A. Fewbags. He has an airtight alibi, but I don't trust him.
Continuing.
Right. Moneybags' entire fortune was left to an old friend named Lawrence L. Willington, who lives out of town.
He left nothing for his own wife.
I guess not. Sounds suspicious.
It is a point of interest, but second things first. I shall speak to Mr. Cheerin.
You mean we should speak to Miss Cheerin?
Maralynda, was it? Listen, everybody knows a detective's assistant is supposed to sit there, quiet and ignorant, and occasionally say some stupid theory that's clearly misleading. Oh, and if they ever write a book about the case, you'll probably be the narrator.
Hey, I can make contributions too. Who knows? Maybe I'll solve the case before you do.
Right, that could hypothetically, potentially, within the bounds of imagination. Miss Cheerin, I believe you know why we're here.
Guilty!
Perhaps. Now, Miss Cheerin, why were you outside Moneybags Mansion last night?
Oh, I go out there every weekend.
Why?
To watch him.
To watch him die!
Let's move on. Miss Cheerin, why do you have such an asphyxiation with Moneybags?
Oh, Johnson is a wonderful man. So good and kind and powerful and oh, so handsome. You see, I was in an Olive Garden choking on some pretzels I brought from home when Johnson tripped over the table like a... Long story short, I've been running his fan club ever since.
Right. And what do you remember from the night of the murder?
Well, there's not much to say. I went to my usual spying bush, the third one on the left, and I couldn't really tell if he was home or not. It was so quiet. Anyway, I was there about an hour, and I got so lost in a cookbook, I didn't even know the police had arrived.
Uh-huh. And you don't seem particularly broken up by your idol's death.
Oh, he's not dead. I'm in denial.
Thank you, Miss Cheerin. No further questions.
Thank
Yes, Maralynda would like to ask her share of questions too.
you. Why? No further questions.
So, I'm sure you noticed our second clue.
Of course I did. Why? Wait, what was the first clue?
I found this handkerchief with Alias Industries logo written on it. Handkerchiefs are either the most important part of a murder case or the biggest waste of time imaginable. About that second clue.
Right. Ashley Cheerin said that the house was quiet, but Jeffley Cant called the police saying that he heard a scream. That means Ashley was lying.
Or Jeffley was lying. Never jump to conclusions, Maralynda.
Well, whoever was lying, I still say it was that Fewbags guy. But we should probably interview Jeffley Cant just to clear up the contradiction.
Actually, I think that...
So, how's the Moneybags case going? Great! Al here was just telling me how great of help I've been.
Don't call me Al.
Well, that's great. Miss Merdur, I certainly hope McGrittle's, excitability at interrogations hasn't inhibited you in any way. It hasn't. In fact, we were just discussing how I should handle the next interrogation all by myself. Really?
Really? Oh, I mean, Maralynda has shown great progress or something like that.
Oh, well, that's... I'm glad. And, McGrittle, yeah? I really hope you do succeed.
What was all that about?
Never mind that. I'm sorry I said I'd do the next case solo.
No, it's actually a good idea. If we split up the suspects, we can save time, and time is precious. I shall forego the journey to Lawrence L. Willington, while you can stay here and interview Mr. I. Cant.
Do you think I'm ready to interview a real suspect all by myself?
Suspect is a strong word. Jeffley I. Cant barely qualifies as a bystander. An imbecile can get the necessary information out of him.
Thanks.
Good luck, and take heed in your efforts. And remember my classic catchphrase, never, always, take heed. As Lawrence L. Willington once said, don't quote me on that.
So you're Jeffley I. Cant.
Boy, howdy.
Okay. Why were you outside the mansion the night of the murder?
Oh, that's just what I do. I travel from town to town. Outside the biggest mansions I can find. I feast on any caviar scraps they throw out. The bigger the mansion, the bigger Cheeto pies.
And how long have you been in town for?
I walked right into town about 2 square roots of a fortnight ago.
Right. Tell me about the screams you heard.
I heard a lot of screams of my day, girlie. You're gonna have to specify.
The screams from the mansion 2 nights ago?
Oh, those screams. Hold on. It was a dark, wispy, crispy evening. I had just finished some 3-day-old donuts when the evil clone that lives in my mirror popped up to spookify me. You know, sometimes I think a lot of people look like me. That Moneybags fellow, for instance, looks like a version of me who didn't throw out his mom's favorite beanbag chip.
The screams?
Oh, yeah. I heard a guy scream from the mansion. I called the police on the payphone and I sometimes drop funny faces on down yonder.
Right. No further. Actually, do you know a Johnny A. Fewbags?
Oh, yeah. The fellow who works at the wax company Moneybags owns. Agnes Industries. Real nice guy. Nice and innocent type. Type who would do nothing wrong. Especially not murder.
Thank you, Mr. Cant. No further questions.
You're welcome. Miss McMuffin. You know, this reminds me of a song. I go by the name of Jeffley. I can't. My mind is moving at a slant. Rooting in garbage is my form of art. With a smile on my face and song in my heart. Everybody, I go by the name of.
And so, for breakfast, I ordered bacon with scrambled eggs and sausages. However, when the waitress brought it to me, the eggs were sunny side up, and so I said, yolks on you. I wanted sunny side up the whole time. And so, after they escorted me off the premises, I went to the neighboring breakfast time.
When I asked you how your trip went, I really just wanted to know about the case.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I certainly thought it was interesting. But no matter. What did you learn from Jeffley I. Cant?
Not much except a new song.
Oh, how did it go?
What? Never mind the song! The point is, he just reiterated the same information he told the police. He heard a scream come from the Moneybags mansion.
Did he seem to be lying?
I don't know. When I interview anyone, I just assume everything they say is a lie.
Maralynda, it's important to remember that everyone has a tell. Lawrence L. Willington, for example, had every tell imaginable.
What did he tell you?
What he told me wasn't very important. It was how he said it. When I said I was a detective, he suddenly became very accommodating.
A detective? Well, you certainly don't see one of those every day. I just finished an Agatha Christie novel the other day, and it was a real treat. But anyway, come in. Would you like some iced tea? Heck, I even have some scrambled eggs left over from breakfast if you're hungry.
We went over the usual questions.
No, we hadn't really talked recently. Yes, I was surprised I inherited all of his fortune. No, I don't really know what I'm going to do with all that money yet. Oh, how's Deborah holding up, by the way? I haven't seen her in a really long time. But I look good in a sailor uniform, etc., etc.
When I asked where he was on the night of the murder, his response was interesting.
Oh, where was I? What was that, like 2 nights ago? What was I doing? Oh, shopping. Yeah, late night shopping. I do that sometimes. Oh, what did I buy? Food and stuff. Oh, but I never keep any of my receipts, so I guess you're just gonna have to take my word on it. I love Jonathan like a brother.
It's totally him, right?
Not necessarily. Lawrence L. Willington is a spineless coward who couldn't kill a spider in the bowels of a tugboat. No, I don't think he was the killer, but he's definitely hiding something.
Great, another complication. Why can't we just go up to Johnny in Fewbags and say, "Are you the murderer?" And he says, "Huh, yep, that was me." I just want to go up to the chief of police and tell her who it is so that way I can finally get some real recognition around here.
What's the deal between you and the chief anyway? The last time you two conversed, you could have cut the tension with a jackhammer.
It's complicated. I just want some real responsibilities, but she won't give them to me.
You don't have to stand for this kind of treatment. You can always transfer to a precinct, or better yet, take bloody revenge by filing a complaint. That'll teach her.
She's my mom.
That's probably the biggest twist in this whole mystery.
I really want her to take me seriously. I don't want her to see me as some little kid in a Halloween police uniform. But that's not easy, especially since I wore that costume 23 Halloweens in a row.
I suppose I can't relate. In fact, I seem to have the opposite problem. Whenever I talk to someone, they see me for my profession and nothing else. Whenever I try to talk about anything else, well, you're a master in schemes and lies. It's easy to tell when someone feigns interest.
So what happened after you had breakfast?
You really want to know, don't you?
I do.
Well, after breakfast, I went to a neighboring breakfast diner, just to browse, of course. I asked the clerk to show me a shiver, but instead he showed me his armor. Can you believe So, Miss Deborah Moneybags.
It's pronounced Deborah.
Right. So, Miss Deborah, where were you when your husband was murdered?
You most certainly already know the answer to that, but I'll humor you. I was out shopping at Harry's Herring Supermarket. I arrived home only minutes before the police arrived.
Do you know a Lawrence L. Willington?
My late husband mentioned him, yes. I never met the man myself.
Yes. He knew the correct pronunciation of your name.
What's that supposed to mean?
Are you sure you've never met him? He acted like he knew you personally.
Are you suggesting that I'm a liar?
I just find it interesting that you and Mr. Willington both went shopping at the same time, at the same hour, at an unnamed location.
That is a receipt for my purchases that night at the supermarket. You will see that I paid for it with my own credit card, just half an hour before the body was found. I was a Girl Scout when I was young and class president every year, from 6th grade through senior year. I was employee of the month for every month I worked at my first 3 jobs, except for April 2004. I once pretended I read a book at a book club meeting and 3 of the club members died within the week. I don't lie, Mr. Merdur, that jacket does not look good on you.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Moneybags.
It's Miss Terry now.
Right. Good day, Miss Terry.
Did you love him?
What?
Jonathan A. Moneybags, did you really love him?
I don't see how that's relevant.
Well, I would like to know.
Margaret, please, I think.
Well, I think she should answer the question. Did you love him? Did you really love him?
No. what you wanted to hear? No, of course I only married him for his money, and he knew it too. That man was mad, making masks from his own company's wax for his own amusement. It was ridiculous. Of course I only married him for his money, and I would have killed him if I get anything out of it. No. If anything, I'd kill that darn Willington and my husband after him. So there, you got the answer you wanted. Now what?
No further questions.
And so, here we are, two detectives back at the scene of the crime, discussing 5 potential suspects. The bitter wife, the nervous heir, the crazed fan, the employee with potential, the old coot, and the butler.
We never talked to a butler.
There's always a butler! So, do you have any theories as to who did it?
Why? Do you not have a theory?
I don't have theories. I have facts. So, who do you think it was?
I think it's Deborah Moneybags.
Really? You no longer believe it to be Fewbags?
I still think it's Fewbags, but this Deborah theory is making slightly more sense.
Very well, continue.
My theory is that Deborah must have fully believed her husband would leave his entire fortune to her. Otherwise, why would she stay married to him? So, she hired an old friend, Lawrence L. Willington. She figured that since Moneybags hadn't been in contact with him in so long, he would never be associated with the case. So, she gave him her credit card and instructions to buy some things from Harry's Herring supermarket at a specific time so that she could have an alibi.
Here you go. Here.
Great, now get out of here.
Wait, why do you want me to do this again?
Never mind that, now out.
What he didn't realize was that she likely killed Moneybags only moments before and hid the knife. Her plan was likely to go upstairs pretending to have just arrived home and call the police saying she found the body.
Oh, help! Please help! My husband's been murdered!
And that is why she also hired Ashley Cheerin. She paid her to wait outside the mansion, pretend that she didn't hear any screams that would place the murder at an earlier time when it actually happened, a time when she was supposedly shopping.
You know your job, right?
Of course. When do I get to meet Jonathan?
Soon, sweetie. Very soon.
Only 2 things went wrong. The first was Jeffley I Cant.
I once hit over with my pickup truck.
He heard Moneybags scream and immediately called the authorities. The second problem was Moneybags' will. It gave all the money to Willington, leading the authorities right to him, and he gave it away with all of his tells. And that is how it's done.
Impressive. Somehow all of what you said fits ingeniously well together. However, there's still one major issue. You are entirely wrong.
Okay. I don't mean to be rude, but can you not?
Maralynda, for this entire, know that what I'm about to tell you is what truly happened on the night of the murder.
Fine, I'm listening.
Maralynda, for this entire investigation, you have been operating under the assumption that Johnny A. Moneybags was dead. But what if I told you that wasn't the case at all?
Nuh-uh, no, that's wrong. You're just not right.
And why not? Remember the 5th thing I told you. Never jump to conclusions. Johnny A. Moneybags had immense wealth to pay resources to pay off any doctors who might examine the body. Not to mention a limitless supply of wax in order to make a fake one. A body that I believe was recently cremated, leaving behind no evidence.
Okay, so if Jonathan Moneybags is still alive, does that mean he's pretending to be someone else?
Someone? Several people? Half our suspects. It's all the same. Yes, you have met Johnny A. Moneybags several times this weekend and didn't even realize it. So, it was not a case of murder, but sabotage!
But how?
Let's start at the beginning and look at the motive. Moneybags had a wife who clearly wished him dead. Knowing this, and wanting to leave the limelight of being such a renowned quadrillionaire, Moneybags decided to kill 2 stones with 1 bird and frame his wife for his murder. And so, he set his plan in motion. He planted the fake body in the library at some point after his wife left the shop. And so he concocted the most brilliant of all his various disguises. Jeffley, I Cant.
I'm secretly a genius quadrillionaire.
His purpose was to report and call screams that didn't exist at all.
Sounds like screams to me.
This was to set a specific time for the murder. Soon before Deborah came home. Only one thing was wrong, however. He didn't account for Moneybags, actually Cheerin, or anyone for that matter, being near enough to the mansion to hear the screams.
Wow, the house is so quiet tonight.
But regardless, Moneybags moved on to his second disguise, Lawrence L. Willington.
What? Me? No.
Willington's purpose was specifically to cast doubt on Deborah's alibi by implying that they knew each other in some way, and Agnes may have aided her. This, added with her claims of never having met him, would all but confirm their allegiance.
Wait, so if Willington and Moneybags are the same person, does that mean Moneybags inherited his own fortune?
Correct. And so, nearly everything in place, Moneybags has ensured that his body will be found at a specific time, his wife will undoubtedly be implicated, and he gets to keep his entire fortune. But there's still the matter of the company. Moneybags wants to keep his business just as much as he wants to keep his fortune. And so he concocts a third disguise, Johnny A. Fewbags.
I knew it!
Yes! I suspect the alias of Fewbags was created a long time ago as a way to spy on his employees. And so, with everything in place, Moneybags dons his Fewbags disguise and goes to his co-worker, Roger Ackroyd's house, as a solid alibi. He only stepped away for a minute, however, 9:47 to be precise, in order to make a call.
Officer, I'm hearing a screaming sound.
And that is the answer to the Moneybags Murder!
It's impossible! It's ridiculously complicated. But somehow it all makes sense. Tell me, how did you figure it out?
You are, of course, familiar with the word alias. It's a Latin word meaning otherwise. More commonly, is a word for a false name. And so, Moneybags used the word itself in order to spell out his aliases. Jonathan A. Moneybags concocts a brilliant scheme in order to fake his death. Lawrence L. Willington inherits his own fortune. Jeffley I. Cant ensures that the body is found. And Johnny A. Fewbags inherits his own company. And, of course, Alfred S. Merdur is specifically requested to solve the murder.
Wait, what are you saying?
Yes, Maralynda. It's me.
Shut up.
You're surprised? I really thought the handkerchief would give it all away.
But your interrogation with Willington.
You mean the trip I happened to take as you were interviewing my other persona, Jeffley? Yes, that was a very memorable trip indeed.
But why are you telling me all this? Are you going to kill me?
What? No! Gross!
Then why are you letting me know all this?
Because, Maralynda, we were able to become something that my wife Deborah, Ashley Cheerin, Roger Ackroyd, Steve the mailman, and even that waiter from the Panda Express could never be. You became my friend. You were able to see me as more than a man of business. I reasoned that if you were willing to accept the real me, it only makes sense to show you who that really is. And so, I suppose what comes next is up to you.
Up to me?
You know my secret, and now you may do what you wish with it. You may tell the chief whatever you wish about the solution to the case. I will give you full credit for solving it and will deny nothing, no matter how much trouble it gets me into.
The case is is in your hands.
Well, Mr. Merdur, have you come up with a solution yet?
Oh, I can say with absolute certainty this case has me completely bamboozled. Although, Maralynda here does seem to have quite a theory.
All right, let's hear it, McGrittle. Who is behind the Moneybags murder? There was a murder here. A most foul murder indeed.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. We have another
Clear the house.
Clear the house.